So migration using data box. So for data box, data is going to be migrated using one of these means. Migrated using import and or export job. Okay, so it can either be import or export. Now, how does it work with import jobs? So typically, let's use an analogy. COVID-19 results. So let's use COVID-19 results, test results for a community. So we have a county, let's say Queens County. Right? COVID-19 results for Queens County. So Queens County has maybe 600,000 residents. So Queens County has 600,000 residents. So out of the 600,000 residents, let's assume, or let's say they have 1 million residents. And out of the 1 million residents, 600,000 residents took COVID-19 results. Now, possibly as a result of CDC regulations. Remember I said regulatory compliance is going to determine how business is being provided, how business is being handled. So let's assume that FHA or CDC, which one, or DHS, Department of Health, rolled out a regulation that says that all COVID-19 results, rolled out a policy that all COVID-19 results should be securely stored in a cloud environment, right? Mandating all health care institutions to health records in a cloud environment. So maybe they have a policy. I'm not saying, just for explanation analogy sakes. So perhaps FHA, CDC, Department of Health Services, Health and Human Services. It's Health and Human Services. So this is not Homeland Security. In fact, it's not even department, it's just HHS. So Health and Human Services. So maybe they wrote out a regulation that says, okay, healthcare reports, records for COVID-19 patients, results must be securely stored in a cloud environment. And let's assume that this policy was rolled out 1 year after after the COVID-19, so 2020, right? So maybe this policy was rolled out in 2022. And before now, hospitals, healthcare laboratories, they already have their own way of storing the results, the documentations. Now imagine results for 600,000 residents. And remember, did anybody take COVID-19 tests? Sometimes you have to take the test 2 times, 3 times. and they have to record those tests. So imagine for 600,000 residents. So if on the average, they took 2 tests, so the records have to be stored somewhere. So let's say we are dealing with size. Record size, let's say 10 or 100 gigabytes in size. Now, since this new policy was released in 2022, the MedStar Hospital or GMC or GBMC or Sinai Hospital, Johns Hopkins, they need to be in compliance with this new regulation. So they're going to talk to one of these cloud providers and say, we want you to partner with us. We want to migrate all our healthcare information. We want to have a secure storage in your cloud environment. Okay, so this is where import jobs comes in. So now, this on-premises environment, let's say, for example, Sinai Hospital. This Sinai Hospital, COVID-19 records in Sinai Hospital. So stored in private data center. Right? So this is an on-prem environment. Don't lose track of that. This is on premises. Now they want to migrate the data into Azure so they can perform an import job. So this is Azure. So what's going to happen is that here at the data center guys are going to download all these records into disks. And they will send a request. So depending on the size matters. So it's going to determine which data solution they will use. So depending on the size of the data, they're going to have disks, and then Microsoft or Azure will send a device or a truck. They're going to send a truck to this private data center, pick the disks, and then the truck will ride back to Azure data center, and they will download the records and download to storage account. Remember we talked about storage account, right? So they're going to download into the storage account. What kind of storage account do you think they will use? Blobs, blob storage, database, tables, queues. I believe they will use blob. We use blob storage. So and once the data center technicians upload the disks to the cloud, they're going to message or send out an email to Sinai Hospital that the task has been successful. Now, this is not as fast as you think. It might take like 1 week. It might take like 2 weeks. Depends. Okay. So if you go back into the portal, so here, look at it. Transfer type, import to Azure. So that's what we just illustrated. So we are importing to Azure. So select your subscription. So create a resource group. So which region? Now, usually the regulatory compliance might mandate that the data must be within the same region where the end users are. Now, Queens County is in Maryland. Now, the data center closest to Maryland is in East, that would be, the region is East US, right? So the storage must be within an Azure data center in East US. So let's assume that Microsoft have a data center in Pennsylvania. So they're going to send a truck from Pennsylvania to come pick up the disks. So let's put this in the resource group, region, United States, and destination. So since we've chosen United States, so it's still going to be in East US. Apply. Now, depending on the size, right? The size of the data will determine which one we use. So there's data box disk, 35 terabytes. So me, I was even talking about 100 gig. I was supposed to say terabytes. So 35 terabytes of data, you need a data box. If it's more than 35, if it's more than 80 terabytes, you need a data box. If it goes beyond 80 to 800 terabytes, they will send a data box heavy. These are devices, right? Now, 20-day use at no extra cost, 10-day use. So it will be with you for 10 days. So within 10 days, they expect that you should be able to download it, right? So this is an offline solution for data transfer, for migration. So you are migrating offline because you are not using your bandwidth, right? You are not using your bandwidth. So sometimes another reason why we might want to use this mode of migration is to minimize cost of bandwidth. So imagine the download speed. If your download speed, your upload speed cannot handle 80 terabytes of data, so just need to reach out to Microsoft to come up with a plan. Let me see if there's actually documentation on this. Okay, look at it. So these are different data sources. The data generated by your vehicle, by your IoT devices, all right? Data center, okay? So you're gonna do, so online, you can use a data box, but offline, especially when our internet service cannot handle the size of data being sent. Use data box disk or data box heavy. So they're going to send a truck. You see the truck now? So this truck is going to, now this is highly secured, like GPS monitored, satellite monitored, because nobody wants to incur lawsuits. So they're going to take it to the data center, and this is what the devices look like. Data box disk. You can order one, all right? So data box heavy over the internet gateway. So once the task is done, you get a message, and of course, there's encryption, right? AES 256. That's the encryption protocol. So these data are encrypted in transit, and they are encrypted at rest. Encryption in transit, encryption at rest. And then vice versa. If tomorrow you want to do an export, so this is for import. So if it is export, same technique. So maybe tomorrow, Sinai Hospital says, we don't want Microsoft to store our records again. Bring it back. So they're going to reverse the task. At the Microsoft Data Center, they will download the records into disks, put it in a truck, send the truck back to Sinai Hospital's data center, and they will have a copy. So you can always request for your records if you don't want the cloud provider to store it again. Any question? Is this clear?
For the most part, it's making sense.
Huh? Kevin?
Yeah, it's making sense for the most part. Just
Mhm.
probably needs a little more tweaking. Like I probably need to keep listening.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, it gets more interesting by the time you're having at least I'm introducing you to it, so it might be new, but once you start um having experience working with similar situations, it makes more sense. So there are some pillars of uh, migration, or basically architecting the cloud. So there is a principle we call the well-architected framework. This is applicable to any cloud environment, public cloud environment. All right. The well-architected framework basically is categorized into 5 pillars, and these are some pillars on top of which our provisioning, solutioning is premised upon. Uh, Azure Advisor, documentation. Yeah, I have partners. You have so these are different sources to get information. But basically, the well-architected framework encompasses all of these pillars, and it must be reliable, it must be cost-effective, must follow operational excellence, uh, ensure performance efficiency, and above all, ensure security. Let me see if I can pull that documentation, because so this is something you can read over the weekend. I don't know if you're familiar with Edge browser. Edge browser can work like Kindle. It can actually read out texts to you. So if you are in your gym, if you are driving, you can just play your Edge, use the read button in your Edge browser. See. So if you
Interesting.
Yeah, so if you go to the 3 dots on the right side of your Edge browser, you will see. So usually you should find it here, but if not, let me see. More tools. So go on that more tools. Oh, read aloud. Why? Why is it grayed out for me? Really? More tools. Okay. Let me share this again.
Search the way you talk, text, and think.
Can you hear it?
Get complete answers to complex searches, chat, and create. Announcing the next wave. Oh.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah. So just like what Kindle does. So if you use your Edge browser, if you can just open it, let it just be reading the documentation to you. So let's try to locate the documentation. Okay.ms. architected. Right. So the pillars. So these are the pillars: cost optimization, operational excellence, performance efficiency, reliability, security. All right. So this documentation breaks down. Yeah. So for cost optimization, make sure that it's cost effective for operations and development, operational excellence, best practices for deployments, for migration, for implementation, performance efficiency. So these are some things you should be familiar with as a solutions architect from the architect standpoint. Even if you are a security architect, sometimes you might be responsible for solutioning the best option to, to come up with a design, security design for your DevOps pipelines, for your implementations, for your network. Just make sure that it follows these 5 pillars: reliability, security. Okay, so you have some design principles. Use data to make decisions, educate and enable. So another thing is a solution architect does is you must be able to set up what's it called? What do you call it in the office now? Somebody help me. Demo sessions, like demos or workshop sessions, 30 minutes, maybe something, you find a new discovery you want to share with your team. You must be bold enough, have it properly documented, have your PowerPoint slides, and talk about it. That's how you stand out. This person is very brilliant. This guy is very efficient. He's working and going out of their way to get things done. We talked about the shared responsibility the other time. All right. So have an understanding of the shared responsibility model. What do you manage? And what does the cloud provider manage? Okay. So breaks it down: cost optimization, look for the most cost effective. There's a pricing platform. All right. There's a pricing platform, which is the pricing calculator. Make it your friend. Yeah. I think for AWS, it's total cost of something like that. So check. Can somebody check? Just do AWS pricing calculator. Post the link in the chat. Everybody, AWS pricing calculator. So this is not cut in stone. So in some cases, this just gives us an overview, estimate. You can say estimate. Just estimate. Okay, what if we have 25 virtual machines we want to put here? They're going to be located in East US, that kind of thing. So just give us an overview, an estimate, high-level estimate of. All right, so we have a region, East US. We have Windows operating systems, standard tier. Okay, so remember all those VM categories. So it's going to be general purpose. These are the instance sizes for general. So we want to use a DC data center size version 3 series, uptime, how many VMs. 440 VMs. All right. So are we using pay as you go, or you want to use a savings plan? So savings plan is cost effective. Remember, architect, go for the cost effective. If you go for savings plan, you're going to get a discount, 1 year discount or 3 years discount, whichever works. And the longer the years, the bigger the discount you get. So look at it. If you're using pay as you go, $30,000 per month. So everything culminates to $45,000. This is an estimate. So when you are developing your paper, your documentation, you have something to work with. If you go for savings plan, 1 year, so you're going to be eking out. Okay, you can pay upfront as well. Okay, so charge upfront for the whole year, 300,000 or 40,000 per year per month. Okay, if you do the 3-year savings plan, $34,000 per month. So if you want to pay it once, $723,000. So these are just to give you different scenarios when you are developing your report. So get familiar with this with the pricing calculator. Anything you're looking for, any service that you want to have an estimate of what you're going to be paying. Where's our Telegram? I'm looking for the Telegram chat. Did you find anything? Oh. Okay. Calculator, AWS. What of GCP? Kemi, can you find the GCP pricing calculator? And Mr. Michael, help us find the pricing calculator for Oracle. Kemi, are you there?
Yes.
Did you find it?
Yes.
Yeah, share it. So these ones even tell you the exact location of their data center. So East US, they have data center in Atlanta, Boston, Chicago. Where's Virginia? Do they have anything in Virginia? They have in Philadelphia. Okay, Virginia will be Gulf Cloud. These are public cloud, not Gulf Cloud. Nigeria. Oh, they now have a data center in Nigeria. Isn't that wonderful? You can start building your business and scaling in Nigeria. So if you want to set up your EC2, so EC2 is the equivalent of virtual machines. So let's check EC2 in Nigeria. So let's use those sizes. So remember now you are dealing with C5, R5. These are the sizes. Yeah. Compare that to the D series, G series, B series in Azure. And reservation payment, you want to pay upfront, you want to pay partially, right? Just like on demand, pay as you go. Look at the prices. So everyone have their own. Let's switch this over to Atlanta. The prices are going to change. Yeah, the prices are going to change. So just gives us that experience. And Oracle, okay, Kemi shared Google. Let's see what the Google looks like. All right, we have 1 minute to go. It's getting intense. The next class, we're going to talk about GitHub. So make sure you have your GitHub account set up on Saturday. It's better we do that on a Saturday morning when the brain is not yet saturated. You're not running after the kids. You're not taking them out. You just woke up, just took your coffee. So we're going to talk about GitHub. So the GitHub is a source code repository. How do we set it up? How do we connect it with our servers, integrate it? How do we then, I'm going to introduce us to the world of Terraform. You must know at least 2 scripting languages if you want to succeed in tech. If you want to succeed as a cloud engineer, security analyst, security architect, you must know at least 2 scripting languages. So I'm going to introduce us to the world of Terraform. We're going to run some deployments. You're going to try it on your own as an assignment. And I'm also going to introduce us to bash scripting. Okay. So that's what we are doing on Saturday. Okay. This is what the Google, I don't really like Google. It just looks somehow. Whenever I get into their environment, everything just looks somehow. It just looks like I'm on google.com. Look at it. It looks like you're on Google Flight. Looking for, trying to book a flight. It's like you're on Google spreadsheet. There's always something about them. All right. Any question? Comments? Okay. Saturday is for Saturday.
What time?
8 a.m. our usual time. GitHub.
Can we do 5?
8 a.m. is our usual time. That's just one off. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. It's to 10. It's to 10. GitHub. What's that again? What's the second one? Terraform. And bash. Bash scripting. So that's what we're doing on Saturday. All right. It's time to go to bed. Enjoy your night.
All right, you too.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Take care.